All right. Since Sister Lighton is here now, please let's endeavor to come early for meetings so that
My apologies.
we
My
can get
apologies,
started on time. And then this is a very few numbers of us just to share something very fast so that so sorry. I'm trying to get the right, okay. I want us to have. All right. So good evening. Or is it afternoon? Good early afternoon. Good early evening. Good late evening. I mean, good late afternoon. Whichever way we choose to look at it. So I just thought that we should share some information in the group. We can all look together at what we know and what we can share with one another so that we can grow. Because it's in knowing what you are doing really that you can grow in it. If we do not understand what we are doing, most likely we won't get anywhere. So, like I said on the platform, the top gainers coin strategy is really good. But you know, we have to go. I hope we all know how to do it. Of course, all of us there, we know how to do our top gainers strategy, the settings, and then how you pick the coins, making sure that the coin that you have chosen, when you go to the analysis page, that's the purple line of the KDJ crosses. I'm just trying to refresh our memory on this. The purple line of the KDJ should cross the other two lines. I see them as red and is it orange? Some other fellows see them as purple, red, and pink. But whichever one is the purple that we are actually concerned with here. So the purple line must cross the other two, whatever colors they appear on your own devices. And let's always look out for that purple line, putting its head up like a snake that is ready to strike. Because sometimes it's also up, but it's like sleeping and all of that. I mean, when you see that as sharp as it is, we can also be able to put a meaning to it, okay? Then on the Bollinger Bands, the last candle is either on the very first line, the one at the bottom, and is moving up, is going up, okay? Or even if it's still on the second one and going up, you can still enter the trade. You know, putting all of that things into consideration, the prices and all the other, let's not go into that. That's just the simple TGS as a strategy. But you see, I look at it that sometimes you look at all these, you know, you use the top rising coins. That's why they are top gainers. That's why it is a top gainer strategy. That is the higher high, all those high value, high volume, or whatever coins. That's what we use for TGS. But also, oh crap, they are warning me my network is Ori. Okay, so I'll probably have to put off my video so that I can save us the embarrassment of being thrown out. And then give me a few seconds so that I can add my another device. Sorry about that. Okay, so while I do that, let me just go ahead and reiterate again. You know, what we are trying to do when we are doing that, when we pick those coins, we will now go to do the analysis. Sometimes you are looking at all of them, and not all of them though, but you are tired of just picking, checking, picking and checking and seeing nothing. And of course, there is no signal on the platform to pick, and you really want to pick, especially at the beginning when you are just starting off, you just think that you should trade and trade and trade and trade. So for our members, our team members, our new team members, we really like other things, you know, to trade with. And this is why I want to share this. Please give me a second. I want to try and add my phone. Apologies. All right. I'm looking for the link. Right, I found the link on Wang. It's even better for me to join with the phone because I will be sharing my screen so that we can all also see succinctly. You can see succinctly. Now that they are warning me about my network, let me make everybody co-hosts in case of incasity. Yeah. Please confirm you can see my screen on the other device.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I don't know what strategy that is that I am saving, but I'm sure I'm saving something. Okay, so I want to share my RoyalQ, at least one of the, okay. So, you know, normally when we are looking at the top gainers strategy, we click on the change, we take the uppermost one, we click on the risk, whatever. When the KDJ, like we have said, is where it should be, you know, looking up and as if it's going to strike, then this one definitely, this is not a good coin to trade as at this time. Okay, so you have to go back again, go and look for another one. That could be very, very stressful. But you can also look at what you can call the highest low. You know, this one that we are doing with TGS is actually the highest high. So when you want to look at the highest low, you do that change button as well. That's the arrow facing down, and then you scroll all the way down. You see all those ones in red, you can also pick to trade. Do we understand what I'm saying? We can actually be all unmuted so that we can talk and it will be interactive since we are just few leaders that we are sharing. Okay? So that as I'm asking, let me know whether you understand what I am saying or not. Does everybody understand? Are you able to unmute yourselves? Or I've muted everyone? Hello, are we still here or I'm here alone?
You're not here alone now, but somehow a bit of mix. I didn't hear you properly at that place, but I'm here. I think it's network or something. I don't know if you can hear me, man. Hello?
I hear you. You said you didn't hear me from where? I can hear you. This is network right now. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I'm hearing
let
you
me make
now.
use of the.
Going on.
Yeah, I said, to which extent did you hear me? Okay, so I'm not too sure it was my own. It wasn't my own network now because Sister Lighton has been thrown out. Lisa, can you hear me? Kabir, can you hear me? Sister Lighton, I'm not too sure it was my own network. I think it was yours because you were thrown out a little bit.
Hello, ma. Please, you can go on, ma. If you can hear me.
I can hear you, but I'm not sure others are hearing me because they are not talking. So I have that in the chat box. Can everybody hear me? Maybe you can just make of the chat box if you can hear me. Kabir, Lisa, are you here? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, ma. I'm with you, ma.
So why are you people not talking? No?
Yeah, I'm talking since, ma. Maybe.
Okay, so please, if you are talking and you didn't unmute yourself, I will not hear you. Lisa, can you hear me? Because I want to carry everybody along. I don't want to have to go back. And if you cannot be heard, then you can use the chat box. And then please, if we are here, let us be here without doing any other thing so that we can be here on time.
I'm sorry, ma, I was asked to unmute myself. I don't know. I just stepped out. Sorry, I had a patient to attend to.
Okay. So are you with us now or you are against us?
I'm still attending. I just quickly came here to see, but I'll join as soon as I can, please. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, ma.
All right. So I was saying that what I want to show us is also the fact that we can use the highest low to pick a trade. It's not only the highest high that we can use to pick a trade. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen from the other device. This device will not have volume so that there is no interference. So like, for instance, if I look at the charts or DFC or MTS or RBX, you can see that I intentionally left momentum off because I don't like that coin. You know, some coins will have shown you shaggy. I don't like my trade to be in the deep for more than 48 hours at the most. So when you are in the deep, I just stop it. I stop the strategy and then I start looking for when it will come up and then I can sell off manually. Okay, you don't have to do that, but I'm just saying that's my own strategy because I hate to see the reds. I hate to see my coins in red. That was why I migrated from Binance to other exchanges to start trading because I had like 19 coins in Binance in red. And I hope we all know also that we do not control the market. So either you are using the ISI or the highest level to trade, you can still go into the deep. So what do you use to get across that so that that doesn't happen? You try as much as possible to trade with margin calls. You trade with margin calls, and it's good to start small and then you build it up high. So don't enter a coin with all your capital, so that you don't have to start looking for money everywhere to recruit, to open new margin calls. And you can't even be sure that even when you open these margin calls, they will be averaging up, but it doesn't mean that it will still come out. But fortunately, by the grace of God, we are going into the bull season, and then all coins, by the grace of God, by the special grace of God, will come up. So let's look at it that we are using the charts. Okay, when you want to pick, let me pull this across. When you want to pick from this, like using this highest low, when you have it as over -6%, you know, the momentum or whatever it's called is -14.3. If you tap on your own screen and enlarge it, but the momentum is in -14.34% now. The chart is in -9.45, and then DFC is in -5.22. You know, when you are picking this, I want to, we will get to the settings, but the difference when it is above 6%, if it is in -1 to -6, you can take profits of between 2 and 2.5%. Okay, but if it is above -6, you can take profits of between 2.5 to 3%. Okay, so like for instance, if it is -10, the take profit will be between 2.5 to 3%. But if it is less than 6, that is, if it is -1 to -6, we will have it at between 2 to 2.5%. I always like to take the base. So like if the coin is in -6 or -1 to -6, I will take maybe like 2%. I don't have to get to the 2.5%. Okay. Then if it is above -6, I would take maybe 2.5. Sometimes if the trading capital is low, sometimes I take 3%, but I will advise that you take 2.5%. So the charts, if you want to pick the chart now at -9.45%, what will be the trade for the trade profits? Who can tell us what the trade profit? Sorry?
That's 2.5 to 3%.
Yeah, 2.5 to 3%. Okay. So now let's look at it. The chart, we click on it. I understand. You can see that it's satisfying our TGS. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Even though it is the is not in the top coins, we are still using the highest low. Okay, so Kabir, since you must have people talking in your background, can you please mute yourself? Let's see. All right, so sorry, I was trying to mute Kabir. He's always having a noise at his background. So, well, we create this as we normally create. Martingale, you create, and then you do that. You go to your trade setting, and then you choose. Like I've traded this coin. I think I've traded this coin, or I'm even still in this coin. That's why you are seeing my strategy still there for this particular coin. Okay, so but you know how to choose your strategy. Let me put you through strategy setting for this kind of trade. So if you have your phone and your RoyalQ app and you want to go ahead and add it, that's fine. But if you want to write it down, it's also okay. So let's look at I think I'm in the chart, so I won't want to do anything with this trade. Okay, you know, normally when you want to add strategy, you go to your strategy settings, and then you add. Although I have for this, but for the purpose of this training, let me do. And now it depends on your capital. You know, also, we need to understand this succinctly, that whatever we are doing in RoyalQ, when we are thinking of our strategy setting, when we are thinking of even our take profit, we should have in mind our trade capital, So for this, you can use, it depends on your trade capital. So for instance, you can even trade with as low as $50. You can trade this with as low as $50. So if you are trading with $50, you will use one coin, as if $50 is your trading capital. If you have $100, you still use one coin. If you have $500 and you want to use your setting for $100 trade setting, then, well, you can take 5 coins, but I still prefer that you use one coin, even for $500. For 1,000 trading capital, you can still use one coin. And then, because your settings would help you out, the margin call settings and everything will help out to an extent that you are not likely to flow in floating loss, you know, for that long, for any longer. So you see it as we go along. For 2,000 trading capital, you can use 1 or 2 points. But let me put this in. We are sharing this now. We have a lot, like I would always say, there are many ways to the market. But it's up to us to choose the one at a particular time that we feel comfortable going with. So like, if they say there are many ways to the market and we prefer the route that has bumps, it's fine, we can scale through. Or we prefer the Kekemawa route, we can go through that. So don't let us put strategies together. Just try as much as possible to understand as many strategies as you can lay your hands on, and then you choose the one that is okay for you. Okay? A number of times I have used many strategies, but what I do is I use them for some time, and then I see the one that is more beneficial to me, and then I stick to that. But sometimes also I just want to kind of use them together, and then I see what comes out of them, and I would then decide on what to do. So for this, like if I have put bulk of my money in some trades, maybe in some signals, and they are still there, they are not sold, and I just have some miserable $50 somewhere, some $100 somewhere, I can just pick this, you know, so that I'm not just waiting for those ones to be done until they are sold. And then, or sometimes you see that there are no signals anywhere, I just want to do something on your own. All right, so I said with 2,000 trading capital, you can take 1 or 2 coins. You can do $80, you can do $60, you can do $70. Is your trade settings that will inform, your trading capital will inform the kind of trade settings you will put. Okay, so when we trade one coin, it will help us to have more margin calls. That's why I said even with 500 trading capital or 1,000 trading capital, you can still do one coin, because this will make you to be able to open many margin calls, and this will help you a lot when the market goes down, when the market is against you. It will help you a lot. Okay, so let's look at it that if we want to do 50, like 50 to maybe $400, like you have the capital of $50 to $400, you can decide to make $5, you know, your first buy amount. I hope we all understand what FBA is by now. We all should. We are all traders now. We even have some super traders among us, like our brother Kabir, that wants to finish the blockchain. So, if you are using from $50 to $400, for instance, you can divide by 5. So you make your first buy in amount to be $5. Okay. So for instance, now, I hope we have a pen. Here's my own pen. I've been talking. All right. So for instance, if we decide to use $50, we decide to use $50 and we want to use $5 as the first buying amount. And we are dividing by 5. So how many margin calls are we going to have? If you don't want to talk, you can just
9.
Sorry?
If we divide it into 10, that will be 9.
Okay, so you will have 9 margin calls. Thank you. So we divide into 10 of we divide 50 into we divide 50 by 5. Of course, we have 10, and we know that our first buying is 1, so we will have 9 margin calls, as our sister has rightly said. Okay. You can also divide it by 10. If you have $400, you can divide by 10. I hope we all understand what I'm saying, but it's good for you to start with $5 so that you can have more margin calls in case the market goes haywire, you know. But you can divide by 10 or by 5, and then you make 5 or 10 your first buying amount, depending on your capital. So you will have 9 as your margin call. Maybe we should let's do this. Let's you know, the remark is optional. I forgot that that's not what I'm using to share. So for the remark, we can just put it as our highest low. Highest low setting. And then if you like, you can also put the amount you are using for this highest low. I like to do that so that I can have 100, I can have for 100, I can have for 200, I can have for 50. So if I want to use 50, I don't have to start trying to share it again. I just go straight to the one I have labeled 50. So can somebody suggest the capital we should use to do this settings? Because like I said, we can use any capital. Can somebody suggest that that's what we'll go with now, and then we do the setting and save it?
Understood. Okay.
We should use
I
what?
suggest 50 now. 50.
50. Okay, so if we are using 50, then we will say $50. Let's do $50 highest low settings. And then our first buy-in amount will be 5 USDT. Okay. You can put on the AI margin if you want. You can switch it off, but I prefer that we switch it off because we are going to have many margin calls. I hope we all know what AI margin actually does for us. Who can tell us what that does? Does anybody want to try?
I can try. Like, it's a kind of support system where after you put your buy-in, it picks the okay, so I don't know the term to use, but it's like it offers support to the trade for that first buy. So it will pick the price when it feels it's the best time to pick it or something, like for the best price.
Okay. So what it does is that it helps us to be sure. It just makes sure that the robot doesn't put all our money in the market at once. That's what Lisa is trying to explain. It doesn't do that. Robot,
Yes,
you know,
please.
robot,
Yes.
if it's not on, the robot will just be picking, you just be hearing, bah, and there's a new buy, bah, there's a new buy, bah, 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 there's a new buy, new buy, new buy. And this robots will just, the coin will just take in all your money and then you are looking. But because we are going to have many margin calls here, we may not necessarily put on the AI margin call. So we leave it off. Now, remember, we said that we want to use 50 as our trading capital. So we have divided by 10 and we have removed the first one. So our margin call limit will be 9, as Sister Lighton told us. Okay. Now the all position take profit ratio is going to be in concordance with what we have chosen. The lowest coin, the highest low coin that we have picked. Remember, I told you that if it is between -1% to -6, then you take it at 2 to 2.5. But if it is over -6, then you take it at 2.5 to 3. So let's say we are going to use the lowest low. Let's put this as 2.5 or even 3. Okay, so this is $50. Let's put it at 3. Okay, then for your whole position take profit, you leave it at 0.01. Okay, remember we said we set up the AI margin call to off, and the margin call, I'm trying to push it in. The margin call is 9. Your all position take profit 3% because we want to go and take the highest that will be higher than -6%. Okay, the all position take profit we put at, oh, I said minus 0.1, not 0.0, 0.1%. Sorry about that. 0.1%. Then is the buying callback that we put at 0.01. And also, why is it jumping? This the supposition take profit we put at 0.01 as well. Okay. And the strategy period is going to be 1 shot.
Please, can I ask a
I used to call
question?
that.
Sorry, I don't know if you said it
I
already.
used to call that 1 chance.
I don't know.
When we didn't know where to go and what to do in 2021, 1 shot to me was 1 chance.
Please, can I ask a question?
That's please go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I don't know if you said it already, but why is the whole position take profit callback 0.1 and not 0.01?
Okay, because you know this one.
That question.
This one, we are actually doing. We are doing the. It doesn't really matter though. It can be 0.01. Okay. It can be 0.1. Some people can put it at 0.3. But if you want a fast job, then make it lower. Okay. So I like to use 0.1%. You can use 0.3%. You can use 0.01. If you use 0.01, it's going to be faster than when you are using 0.1.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All position take profit, the all position take profit ratio is 3%. So I just prefer to have it at 0.1. That's somewhere in between, you know, instead of using
0.01. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. And then we go to the margin configuration. Right. We all know what our margin call drop is all about. Let's reiterate it again. When you are saying your margin call drop, like what is there now is 3.5, 4, 4.5. We are going to change it to our own setting. Also, because we want a fast job. because when you want this trade maybe to be there for like a week or for like 3 days, and you just want all the profits in this world, then you can leave at this, because what your margin call drop means is that when this, remember when you are setting your trade, you are looking at it that this trade can go up and take profit. That's why we set profits, okay? And because we don't control the market, it can also go down. So we are looking at it that let's make provision for if the market goes against us. That's what this margin call drop and multiple buying ratio to now determine what your own what your money can cope with, what your trade capital can cope with, you know. So margin call drop, like as it is now, what you are saying is that, Roberto, when this coin drops by 3.5%, buy for me. That's now multiple buy-in ratio. Buy for me 2 times, because you have 2 there right now. When it drops by 3.5, buy for me 2 times. But this is not what we are going to use, because I have my own setting for this highest low trade. Okay, so for the margin call drop, also for the sake of making it quicker, I have 0.2. The next one, I put 0.3, and the next one, the third, 0.4, and the rest of the strategy I'm going to put as 0.5. So all of them 0.5, 0.5, you can have up to 50 margin drop calls. You won't be tired of doing what I'm doing. You will not just be tired. 0.5, 0.5 to the 9th call. And then we don't have that much money. Remember, we are using $50. Okay, so we are going to change all of this to 1. Remember, we divided by $5, which is our first buying amount. So we have 111. That means that as it is dropping, it is buying for us 1 portion, just one portion, as it is buying for us. Do we understand that? Do we all understand that?
Yes.
Kabiru, do you understand settings? Kabiru, do you understand these settings? The margin configuration? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I know Sister Lighton understands it. I know Lisa understands it. I just wanted to be sure that our brother understands it as well. So we save. Can you see now? Then we still save. And that is it. We already have it. We have put $50 highest low settings. That's our settings. We've not picked our coin. Now we'll now go and look for coins. We now want to, oh, sorry, apologies. We now want to look for coins that will match our setting. Remember, you have to toggle that that's change arrow to face down, and then you go all the way down. Momentum is still doing its momentum there. I'm not going to choose that. So let's say that, but incidentally, it's even the only one that is above 6, but that doesn't matter. I think I want to choose Blaze. I love that Blaze. I love DFC. I love MTS. Does anybody have any one? I love Quick. Quick is always so quick. It's just like its name. But since these are, let's choose Quick actually. So when we look at quick, and with this, you don't have to start looking at, oh, does it make a cross KDJ? No, it just creates, because we are not using TGS. Okay. We look at our trade setting, we go to manually create, and then we choose a strategy. Let's choose the one we have created right there. Always put into consideration that this changes. So we have to put it back at 5 because our margin settings and everything is to 5. Don't let us forget that. Then remember that one was below -6. So we have to change our profit ratio to between 2 and 2.5. So let's pick 2. Okay. And then, yeah, margins are still the way they are. So we save. Yeah. So we save and we trade this in sub-beam mode real-time settlement so that even when it is still in the low, it can still make profits. I hope we all understand. So we activate. I'm just going to activate that because I'll create that because it's just $50. Okay. So do we all understand that? Do we have any question on that?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Any question? No?
No,
All
I
right.
have a question.
All right.
Question, ma.
Okay.
My question is that when checking the margin calls, are you with me, ma?
I'm with you.
Hello, ma.
I am hearing you.
I said we're taking the margin calls. I said we do not use these spots. That spot. One spot I write out, right? You know,
One spot. I didn't understand what you're saying.
don't choose that site.
Okay, I think he's referring to one shot. One shot.
You said, why did we do what? It's been thrown out. His network is horrible. You said you thought he was saying what? Lisa, what did you say you thought he was saying?
I thought he said it's one shot. I thought he meant maybe that you didn't touch one shot or something. I thought he was referring to the one shot part.
But I did, didn't I? I changed
Sorry,
it to
I
one.
wasn't even. I was attending.
I changed it to one shot. That was why I was saying that. Yeah, that I normally would call one shot, one chance in 2021 because I didn't know what it was, and we were used to trading in cycle, so they say one shot.
Okay.
Those who were trading in one shot, they were actually they were doing one chance. Trying to look for this coin that we just activated. I don't seem to see my quick here. Maybe network. All right, so that's one thing that I want to share. Then there is another one. There's another one, and this is trading with RSI. I believe we all know what RSI is. Do we all know what RSI is? Relative Strength Index. RSI. We can also use it, can help us to pick our trades. We can do batch trading using RSI. Okay. And this helps us a lot because we don't really, since we are using that support, we won't really need to be monitoring the trades to look at what it's doing and all of that. So how does this work? And I even forgot, before we even start, because we are going to do batch setting for this trade, for this type of trade that I want us to see. I would like for us to always check, even with that, even if it's not what we want to do now, if it's not batch setting. But because it's batch setting, it's very, very key that we look at our news to see removal notice. I hope you can still see my screen, so that we are not trading coins that are going to be removed. So we look at announcements and we check removal notice. For instance, now I trade on Binance, I trade on Bybit, I trade on OB, and I trade on Mexi. So the one we are using for this is Mexi. So we look at it that Mexi does not support, you can see that Mexi does not support Blast, CKB, CVX, ELF, Mother, STPT, Win, Max for API trading. And it's just a recent adjustment, okay? It's a recent adjustment. So we should take notice of that. We should always check so that we don't go picking coins that are not supported, that are going to be delisted. So they say RoyalQ will delist the above trading pairs, and we apologize for any, they have apologized now, but your money will be there. So, and this ones, we want to do batch setting. So let me write out this so that we can look at it, that we will take out Blast if it is in our coins. We take out CKB, we take out CVX, we take out ELF, Mother. God forbid that we take out Mother, but that is what they want to do. STPT, Win, a lot of MAX for API trading. Okay, so at least we can now be sure that whatever we do, we will not be undoing ourselves. So let's look at those coins. Let's look at those coins. When we search them out, they said Blast, not Blaze. Blast is not here, so it's probably taken out already. So we won't make that mistake. Then you have CKB. CKB is out already, so we won't make that mistake. Then you have CVX. CVX. Spend money, you are making money. CVX is not here. Then ELF. I want to believe that all of these are not here. Mother, not there. ST, not there. Okay. Win, not there. And MAX, not there. So we have no problem. We can go ahead to look at what we want to look at. I told us that RSI is what we want to trade with. And we are going to do batch setting for this. And when we started, I also said that there are many roads to the market. You only need to know the one you want to take. And for me, I kind of look out for a number of strategies. I try them. Sometimes I use all of them together, maybe simultaneously. If I get out of a trade, I can use another strategy to enter another trade. In a day, I may decide if I'm going to be very busy at work, this RSI works for me because I know that I have RSI support there. In fact, the other one that we just did also, the IS low, is also very good because I know I have a number of margin calls opened, so I can be at peace, you know. But particularly this RSI thing, when I'm going to be busy, I use this when I'm going to be busy at work. So how does it work? I've already gone to check the coins that are going to be delisted so that we don't enter such. And then the strategy we are going to go ahead with is also depending on your trading capital. On your trading capital. For instance, if you want to use $500, if you're going to use $500, you may have to have the first buying amount of maybe $45. Okay? $45. And then the margin call limit will be 10. And that would be 9 now when you are looking at it. And maybe you take your profit at 1.5%. I like to take profits of 1 to 1.5%, except for this last one that we looked at, the highest low, because you know the first buying amount and the capital we are actually using. The capital I use for doing highest low most of the time is never over $500. It's never over $500. But for this one, I can use above $500. I can use 1,000. I can use 2,000. But let's assume we want to use $500 for this particular demonstration. I hope I have money left there with all the trades I have on. I can pick that, but let's just look at it. So how do you go about this? You go to your settings. You know, this is settings here. And you now go to the funnel. You can see the funnel to the right. Sorry, I'm not using a pointer, but I believe we can all see this funnel to the right. You click on it. When you click on this funnel, it's going to bring this batch setting profile out. And then you want to see all the coins. What you want to do is to see all the coins. So you click on all. It's already in Martingale strategy. And then you click on all and you click show. So all the coins are here right now. All the coins you can trade are all here. Remember I said you want to do batch setting. So you can trade, you can put in one setting to trade all of this using your RSI, all these things. But you see, you can select all. I'm going to select all, and then I will take off, I will deselect the ones that has money, all the ones that have money rather, because I don't want to change those settings. You know, I have some trades on, both either it is stopped or not, everything will show here. So you can now unselect the ones with money, the ones you are trading, because you don't want to trade those ones again. You see what I mean by Memetum? Memetum is in minus 48.62%. So I'm not going to touch that coin for a while. So those are the ones that we have, you know, that are right there. Okay.
Sorry, man, I'm lost here. What setting? When you say batch setting, what setting is it? Is it a set? Is it like the strategy settings that was just set up? That.
Okay, so you know we've already set that strategy. That's the strategy we are going to use. But the batch is the coin, all the coins. You want to batch them together.
So for every time you trade them, that setting will be like the default setting for them.
That would be the default. Not that you are picking the trade one by one. You are not picking the coin one after the other. That's why it's batched. Do you understand?
No.
Okay. So, you know, we first look at all the coins.
Don't.
Do you?
No.
Okay, let's go back.
Thank you, ma.
All right, so we've already done, at least you understood it to the point of the strategy that we set up.
Yes, ma.
How about Sister Lighton? How about Brother Kabir?
Yes.
Do you understand
yes.
it up to the strategy setup?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We set that strategy. We say we haven't even set the strategy, but we said I have one set. Okay, let me do you want us to do the strategy setting? Maybe that will make it clearer.
Okay.
Okay, so we just go to mine again, and we go to my strategy settings. If you look through this mine, you can see I have RSI, that one that you see 45, 10, 1.5. I have my RSI $500. I have RSI $1,000, but let's do another one. So let's look at it that we want to do RSI, maybe $200 as our trading capital. Okay. So if we are doing that and we want to choose what will be our margin calls, if we want like 10 margin calls, then we are going to have $20 as our first buying amount. Do we understand it to that extent? If you don't have any noise at your background, you can actually unmute yourself so that we can interact better.
Yes.
Okay, so we will put our first buy-in amount at $20. Remember, our remark is RSI, $200 RSI. RSI setting. Okay, that's $200 RSI settings. So our first buy-in amount is $20. All right, and then all these things, all these margin call limits, all of that is by calculations. You just calculate what you are supposed to have according to your capital. There are no fast and rules about what you put. It's according to your capital. Once you understand the basics, that what you are trying to do is to make provisions for what your capital can take, then you will not have any issue. Do we understand? So we will just look at it and say, okay, so our first buying amount is $20. So our margin call limit, because we are using 200 as our trading capital, and we want to have 10 margin calls, so that would be 9, because our first buying amount added to that will make it 10. I like to take 1.5%, but yeah, let's keep it at 1.5% because I'm going to save this as well as one of the, although I don't have any RSI settings lower than $500, but I would also just do that. And don't forget, we want to put our settings just as we are used to. I like to put 0.1, and then I have this at 0.01 and the subposition 0.01. All right. And we are trading in one shot. One shot. Kabir, what was your question the other time? Is it about one shot?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to know what one shot is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we trade in one shot also because we want to be out of the market fast.
Okay.
One shot just means go in there, robots, buy, sell, give me my profits. Shike now.
Okay, ma.
The other one you can trade, you know, if I click on one shot now, you will see cycle. Cycle, just as the name denotes, means continuous. Just be buying. Go back, buy, make profits, go back, buy, make profits, go buy. You know, from my experience, cycle trading throws me, I'm not saying everybody, into a lot of deep shits. So, but initially, we thought it was a good strategy. So that was why some of us, people like me, will call one up to now. You can see that I'm struggling to call one shot because I have been used to calling it one chance because I thought one shot. Why would you want to do one shot when you can cycle, you can go, but you can still do cycle now on a coin that you are trading that is really pumping. Instead of you going back so many times to pick and drop and pick and drop, you can just put on cycle and it will make it out, because now you know that you are the one that has intentionally put it on cycle and is doing the job for you. But for one shot, it's just straightforward. It sells and it brings back the profit, and then you can enter another trade by yourself. Do you understand it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so don't let us forget that we have not done our margin configuration. Okay, for the margin configuration, what we have proposed is we put it at 9 and it is 20. 20 multiplied by 9 is going to be $180. So this multiple buy-in ratio will have to go as one time. One time each. One time each. One time each. One time, one. Okay. And then the first call, well, we can still use the 0.2, and you can use 0.5. You can use it. It depends on how fast you really want it. Okay. But let's just use 0.2, 0.3, and 0.5. Because, you know, I hope we all understand when I say 5. I mean, when I say fast, you know, when you are saying when it drops 0.2%, go and buy. It's faster than when I'm saying when it drops 5%, go and buy, you know? And since we have enough margin calls, then why not? It's better for us to buy fast so that we can make our time out fast enough and we can get out of the trade as fast as possible. So 0.5 up to the end. I love that with all these strategies. They work for me. 0.5, next 0.5, and next 0.5. All right. I hope we understand it up to this level, because this is just the normal way we set our strategy. We've already put it at one shot.
Sorry, ma. That means it's the same setting for the first one we did, the highest low.
Well, all settings can actually, even well, okay, let's look at the top gainer strategy. All we are doing when we are doing settings, when we are doing any setting at all, is that we are trying to put in money. You know, we are trying to put in our budget. We are trying to say, this is how much we have. We are managing our resources. Do you understand? So, for instance, in the top gainer strategy, when you want to do your first buying, you have to put first buying amount there. How much you put there depends on your capital. So I don't want to go straight and say it's the same thing, because you know the capital you are using in the other one, the highest low, is also relative to your settings. So the same thing here. When we go to 500 RSI settings now, your first buying amount will not be $200. I mean, will not be $20. Do you understand? And it can also be $20, depending on the number of margin calls you want to have. Do you get it now?
Yes, ma'am.
So it depends on your capital and what you want to do. So this is why I always tell people, don't cram any settings. Don't just say, oh, because this allow should be said this is the one I'll be using. Look at what you have as a capital. For instance, now, this one that we have set here, in fact, maybe we should have used $100 settings, because we will still need to use lower settings because those who will use $100 will still use $100. It doesn't mean that if you do not have $200, you cannot do RSI settings. Do you get it? And it doesn't mean that you must always use $50 that we use to set that one to trade. You can use 1,000. Remember when I started with that, I said you can use 1,000, you can use 2,000. It depends on your capital. So with this one too, this settings that we are doing, we can use it as with $100 settings. What will change will be what we have now planned, that is our margin settings, which will also be in accordance with our first buying amount. So if we are using $100 and we want to have 10 margin calls limits, then that means our first buying amount will change to how much? We want to use $100.
We change to 10.
Change to 10. So you see that there isn't any hard and fast rules about strategy settings. You just need to put into cognizance your capital or how much you want to use for this strategy, for this trade.
Yes. So thank you for the explanation. But what I was trying to find out, the difference between the two is that aside capital, which can even be different from
the difference between the two you are going to see now. In that other one, we were trading one by one, just as you have been used to.
Okay.
You are going to go and pick the highest low coin, and then you put the strategy in it, or you put it in the strategy, and you create your bot. Do you get that?
Yes.
And this one, that one, we didn't use any advanced settings. In this one now, we are going to use advanced setting of RSI.
Okay.
RSI is an indicator, and I've told you that it is called relative strength index. So the RSI is going to help us to trade, kind of. And I told you also that I use this most of the time when I am busy at work and I don't want to miss out in trading for the day. The RSI indicator is there and it's going to be my support, you know. And another difference between this and that one is the fact that we are going to do batch setting. That's the one that was confusing you guys before, and we came back and we're going to explain it again. Do you understand? Batch setting just means trading many coins together at the same time using one strategy. We are going to use this strategy setting.
Okay.
For many coins at the same time. Do you understand it now?
Yes.
Okay. It doesn't mean that the robots will sell everything together. But just let's go on. Let me keep explaining it, but keep asking your questions until your joy is full. Because your joy is going to be full only when you understand. Only when you understand what you are listening to.
Thank you,
Is that
ma.
not correct?
Yes, of course.
So if you just leave this place, it will be a waste of time if you do not take in. Do we all understand it up to this stage?
Yes,
Yes.
we
Yes,
do.
ma.
All right, so we save and we already have the strategy setting. Now, we will now go to our settings, okay? That is the RoyalQ settings. You see, when you look at the right-hand side of your device, you will see the search sign. You will see the settings cycle in between, and then you will see the funnel. So I'm going to go to, oh, the choice pumping. Okay, so I will go to the settings because I want to see all the coins. Do you understand? I want to see all the coins in this my trade, in this my MXC stroke RoyalQ setting. That is the coins that can trade and that, you know, where I'm using an account that is bound to Mexi. Do you understand? So if you are using an account that is bound to Binance, for instance, it's the same thing. You only will see all the coins that Binance is trading on RoyalQ. So how do we see all these coins? You click on the funnel, okay? It brings out the strategy. We already know we want to do martingale strategy, but we are not looking at the running strategies alone. We are not looking at the stopped strategies alone. We want to see all the coins. So I click on all and I say sure. So now if you look through, if I scroll through, can you see all the coins are here? All the coins are here.
I can't see it on my iPhone.
You can't see my screen?
No, I'm using my other another account to do it, but it's on an iPhone. So I can't see
And
it.
you already know that iPhone and RoyalQ, they are not they are not in sync. They are quarreling. So that's why you see me, I was asking on the platform. I went ahead and got a Nokia, and the Nokia has knocked me off right now. I cannot get RoyalQ on Nokia. Oh my goodness. I thought it was network. I have used all the Wi-Fi in this whole wide world. It's not working. So I just
I
concluded
think
that,
Samsung is just the best.
well,
Okay.
even on some Samsungs, too, depending on how high-end the
The
Samsung,
model, okay.
the RoyalQ will say that I prefer to use lower models. So why are you giving me this high ranking stuff? Then it won't show. You will be clicking all the coins, you won't see anything. Anyway,
Okay.
so you see, these are all the coins. So when you look to the left-hand side, the lower left, you will see all. You see all. So if we, that means we want to select all the coins. Remember, we want to do batch setting. So when you select all, I've deselected it now. If I select it, you will see that the batch setting is coming alive. That's the lowest thing you are seeing. Batch setting has come alive. If I deselect all, it goes away. When I click on it, it comes there. But I'm in some trades. Some trades are still on in this exchange. So, and I'm not going to change. I don't want to trade with RSI with those ones. So I'm going to now individually deselect the ones with money in them. That is the ones that are in trade, like the CHO, the D charts, okay, the fighters, the Memetsun, Okay, so right now from ego down, I can decide to do batch setting. Okay, but you see in batch setting also, you cannot batch more than 80 coins per time. You cannot batch more than 80 coins per time. So for the purpose of this, let's just look at, maybe we are picking, and you can pick just any of the coins. You can pick any. So let's say we are picking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just do 5. Then we deselect others. Is that fine? 5 coins to the $200. Is that
Yes,
okay?
ma'am.
Or you want us to just go ahead and do everything? let's pick 5.
Whatever works. I'm still trying to figure it out anyway. So.
Let's pick. You can. I think I'm live, so you can rewatch. I'll post it so that it's
Okay,
not too. The
thank you.
video is not too long. I just think we should have mercy on those who were too quiet on the platform. They really know. They know they need it, but they won't talk. That was why I intentionally sent the link individually to people. But at the same time, my conscience is saying, why do you want to be wicked? Why don't you just help their naivety? Okay, so
Yes.
we will record and share on the platform. In fact,
Thank
we can
you.
share on all the platforms. Right, so now let me just do 5. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then I'm gonna have to deselect, or maybe I should just okay. Let's I don't want this so I'm going to deselect this. I want 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 arbitrarily. And I love this, all these AVA and okay. So anyway, let's now unselect or deselect, whichever grammar works. I also love BSW. This is a whole lot of work, but we're gonna do it. So this is because I have some coins in trade. Otherwise, I will have just choose the ones, select the ones we want. We wouldn't have had to select all. And then you cannot batch more than 80 at a time. And 80 itself is a whole lot. Well, if I'm tired of deselecting, you may just have to, oh dear Lord. Ooh. I didn't.
Sorry about that.
Thank you, Jerry. I didn't want to. Why did you come there? All right, so we're going on and on and on and on and on. What's wrong with all this stuff, man? Is it my hand?
I was going to say that are we sure they're not like over maybe 200 or 300?
And that's why I said the work has to be done. So you keep doing it. Ordinarily, when I don't have, okay, so since this is just for practice anyway, we don't really have to choose, okay? But we can. I don't like doing things half measure. So please bear with me. I've told you guys that okay is an effico. And those who knew me when I was much younger, that was why that guy said, yes, I know you. That's my secondary school class.
Still looking your always.
Eh?
You are still looking your always.
Thank you, sir. Is that what we are saying?
It's part of it.
I said I'm an effico. And that boy, the man there, I call him boy because we were classmates in secondary school. He said, yes, I know you. I know you to be an effico. Okay, so because we just want to do something and get it done and make sure that we are all on the same page. so that our coming here will not just be for the sake of it. If I use the select all, it will pick the coins that I am trading, and I don't want that to happen. That's why I'm trying to do it. Okay, so I think we are out of it. I think we are out of it. Are we? Oh no, we're not. I don't think we have up to 80 here that is left though. And if we do, we may have to come back and deselect more. But statutorily, we cannot have more than 80. All right, so I think we can just do, so when you have selected the ones you want to batch set, you click on batch setting. That one that was highlighted before, okay? So you click on batch setting, and then we click on our trade setting. So the currencies that we have chosen are right there. All those ones are there. The ones we have chosen that we have batched, they are the ones that you are seeing. You see the currency highlighted. So you go to trade setting. Okay. And just as we choose normally, remember we have created a setting. So we go to manually create. Then we choose a strategy setting, excuse me. And we said we would do the 200 RSI setting. All right. And you see that this our first buying amount has changed. So we need to take cognizance of that. What should our first buying amount be? Does anyone remember?
$10.
20.
I think so.
Kabiru said $10. It's 20.
I thought you said you're using
20.
$100.
We use 200. I said if you are going to use 100, then you change to 10.
Okay,
and then you will now have to change your okay, so that's it right there. Our setting is there, so we save. Sure, we want to save it. Okay. Don't know why it's coming back to batch setting, trade setting, manually creates, choose a strategy. We're using the 200. Maybe we've taken more than we should. 20, and then we save. Sure. All right, I think they are in trade now. You either put on the margin call, the AI margin, or you don't. It doesn't really matter. You will now see them here in the running coins. You see them in the running coins. I think my network is really not going on well. All right, so we haven't really finished that. So sorry. A strategy setting, a batch setting, smarting goals setting. Apologies. I don't understand why my network is throwing me in and out. But we're supposed to have all of them here. We have to go back again. The network is doing me dirty. The network is doing me dirty today. I don't know. It has gone back again. And we have to start selecting. Oh, why you are. Okay, do we understand it, Sha? Because my network is frustrating me. It's okay, so we are going back. Maybe this is a good way also of you understanding it more. So if we select all, we have to deselect the one that I have my money in. So let me just do that quickly because I don't really want the strategy to go into the one that I have money in. And then we choose the one that we want to do. We said we would choose only 5. That's the first 5. But let's even assume that we are choosing all, but it won't take all because I know for sure that it won't take all. It cannot take more than 80. And we don't even want to play 80. Maybe for the purpose of this, let's look at it that, okay, we want to do 80. Now we want to do 80. Do we understand the basics, Sha? Do we understand the basics? We want to do batch. We want to sell. We want to trade in batch. We want to take the coins in batch instead of taking it one after the other. And we want to use the RSI setting. But it didn't go to the setting page for us to do the trade setting properly because we need to apply the RSI. But my network keeps throwing me out. I do not understand why. I'm even clicking on deselect. Our network is not selecting. Sometimes network and RoyalQ can be very, very frustrating. Most of the time, I actually use VPN, especially if I'm on my, if I'm on the Samsung. This particular phone that I'm using, if I don't use VPN with it won't work. I think RoyalQ is annoyed with some phones.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps doing. I'm trying to unselect. I will click on it and it won't answer me. So let's be patient. When we sign into RoyalQ, we also bought patience with it. So now we go to our trade setting, okay? And we go to manually create. And we go to our strategy, the one that we have done. It is supposed to be 20, so thank God it's flowing now. We already have that settings. So we now go to advanced settings. This is where we are going to apply the RSI. This is where the network threw us out the other time. So you go to advanced settings. The strategy period, we have seen that is 1 shot. Ordinarily, if you want to do first buy and you want to put trigger price and all of that, you can put it here. But right now, in that place where you are seeing trigger price, the arrow in front is what you click on. And then you will now choose the RSI. Remember, that's what we want to use. That's what we want to help us in this trade. So you choose RSI. And RSI, this if we want to treat RSI as a topic, is a whole full plate. So let's just use it here as helping us to trade. But maybe some other time we can look at RSI and what the lengths actually mean. So this one, we are going to use it at 6, RSI length of 6. Why? because what this means is that we are looking at the range of the 6 candles, That's what we are looking at, the length, the RSI length at 6. And we want to use it because it is faster. You have medium. If you click on the arrow, you will see 12, you will see 24. You know, you have medium, and the 24 is conservative. That is, you just want to be there. But now we want to use 6. And then we are going to use 15 minutes time frame as well. The condition is oversold, and the signal value is 20. So we add RSI conditions, okay? And then we have it all put out and we save. All right. So what this means is that those coins that we have chosen will be trading concurrently. See, the coin, the capital, because I know some people, it will be going through your mind. Is it that the $200 will now be trading all the coins, or it will be trading one coin or whatever? The allocated funds does not really have to trade all the coins at the same time. You know, it's we are dealing with AI bots. We are dealing with RoyalQ. That's why this bot is a fantastic thing. It's actually very, very fantastic. Okay, you know, it allocates the fund. You have already allocated all the, you've put $200 in all of this, but the bot is going to help us to allocate the funds. Each coin in the batch is normally traded independently. So the bot may focus on 1, may focus on 2, it may focus on all the 5. It depends on the market conditions. You know, normally we cannot control the market conditions, you know, but because we are now like trading with the bots, so it depends on the market conditions at a particular given time. So that's what the bot would do. Like I said, this bot is amazing. It may not trade all. I want to reiterate that. It will look at the conditions. It may trade them simultaneously. It may open trade for some and may not open for some. Remember, I said you can batch as many as 80 coins, you know, and so you just put that only one trade setting, you know. It will be trading them, and when conditions are better, when the conditions are better for other coins, that's why I said when I'm busy, I just put it on RSI and I go do what I am doing, because I mean, that's an indicator that is already doing it with the RoyalQ bot for you. It chooses the coin to trade based on the market. So while we batch, and then we can batch multiple coins, the strategy and the market conditions will determine how, let's put that into cognizance, it will determine how and when each coin in that batch will be traded with the allocated funds as distributed across these coins. Now, you know, we chose 5. We could have chosen 3. We could have chosen 80. We could have chosen 70. You know, it's just for us to also have, you know, in the financial world, they say they diversify. So in this one now, it gives us enough diversification really, while avoiding overstretching our capital. Because if we have to put the $200 in 80 coins at the same time, that would be overextending, overstretching, overstressing the capital. So we can diversify into these coins, you know, using the financial terms now, but then it also helps us to remove the tension on our capital, so to say. Does anybody have any question at this stage?
Yes,
or do
ma'am.
we all understand it?
I understand, but I have a question. Can you hear me?
Please go ahead.
Okay. So, okay, you were just explaining the capital that, for instance, assuming that someone has only $200 and does this, it will pick like the best coins or like that suits the conditions at the time.
Yes,
Yes.
the market conditions.
Okay. Okay, so sometimes it can do like 4 coins and to be like 50, maybe allocated in its own way, maybe 50, 60, like depending on how it allocates them. What if, okay, so can one also set, because we're using a very minimal profit ratio, position take profit ratio. So assuming that's okay, we're in the bull season now and you can do like 10, can you also just set that to maybe like 10% for all this, for that batch? What then does it do?
You are not putting you are not setting the price. You are not putting any price.
Yes.
It's RSI that you are using.
Okay, so you just have to stick with the minimum, that's 1.5
you
all
put
the time.
The RSI, you can actually do your setting, the trading parameters you can set per coin also, if that is what you want. Even in the batch.
Okay.
So your first
even
buying
in
amount can tend to be between 10 to 20. For 3 coins, you can have $20 per coin. If you want to do 5 coins, you can have $10 per coin. And then you can decide to do your margin call limit to about 3 to 5. It doesn't have to be as many as what we did now.
Okay, no, I know that it doesn't have to be that. I'm saying that if, for instance, we've already done the setup, we've done the setting already, whatever settings that suits our capital. So when it's time to do this batch setting, can that setting, the way you would usually do manually create and then pick the strategy and then impute, you can still change all of that there and even change the percentage as well for that batch.
Oh, sure.
Okay, then
you see, I always tell people, you bought the robots with your money.
Yes. So you do what you like with it.
You can do whatever you want to do with it. Okay, so sometimes you will go and do whatever you want to do with it and you make mistakes. Well,
and learn from it.
Yeah, mistake is part of learning. Okay, but with this one, actually, you can do your batch setting and you can change the percentage. We just wanted to be conservative. That's why we put the 1.5%.
Okay, ma. Okay. Another
Especially
question,
during
please.
the bull run, you can increase the percentage.
Yes. Okay. Another question, please. So it's the same way, even though it has done the batch selection, like you've done the batch, you can still go and tweak each one individually. Like maybe when later, maybe you want to sell one off, maybe you're satisfied with, like it just runs normally, like we would with the usual running trades where you can then go back there and sell and
Okay, so what you are saying is like if you put something at 5% and you see that it's dragging, but it has gotten to 3%, you just want to sell it off.
Yes.
Oh, sure. You can do that.
Okay.
You can do that.
Thank you very much.
Ordinarily, what the martingale does is that it increases the amount we buy at each dip.
Yes.
So that it will help us to recover quickly. It will hasten.
Yes, with the DCA.
Yes, when the market rebounds.
Yes.
So you are already using the martingale strategy. And when you see that, okay, this has helped me, it has come up, it is in the recovery level that I want, you can go there and sell it up.
Okay. Yeah. And you can also manually buy for each one, like even after it has picked all the trades, you can then manually buy for each one.
Okay, so I have not tried that. I have not thought of manually buying because I just put a batch and I leave it to go and it goes on finely. So maybe you can go and test that for us and come and give us the feedback.
Okay, ma. Thank you very much.
But normally we just leave it at 1.1 to 1.5% so that you lock in the small profits. And don't forget also that we are trading at the sub-in-mode real-time settlement because we want to also still be able to make profits even while the market is against us. Do you understand that? We use sub-in real-time settlement.
Can we use just sub-in mode?
And you can use sub-in mode if you are trying to manage your fuel fees. But you know, you are doing batch. I would rather you use sub-in mode if I'm doing individual coins.
Single, okay.
Yeah, and the capital I'm putting in is high, the percentage is high, so I'm expecting high profits. I prefer to use sub-in mode because as it is selling, the profits will push back into my capital and then it will average up for me. But why I'm doing that for high capital is so that my fuel fee is not too high.
Okay, ma. Thank you.
You know, when you are in sub-in mode, it only takes the fuel fee once when it's declaring the profits.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
But in the sub-in mode,
real time to keep taking for every time it makes profit.
Sub-cells,
yes.
It keeps taking the fuel fees.
Yes.
You know, but since we are using this low capital, it's good for us to just put it there so that we can be looking at the recovery and we can see the small profits. We can aggregate the small profits. It will lock in the small profits for us. The profits will be regular and we can take advantage of the market fluctuations as well. I mean, that's what we are doing when we put on the margin calls anyway. Sorry, are you hearing me though? Because they keep warning me that my internet,
can hear you.
That my internet is okay. Somebody said the network went off. Kabir, you are back with us now. Do we have any question before my network finally throws me out? Do we have any question?
I'm okay for now.
All right. Sister Lighton, any question? Mr. Kabir?
No, I think what I would do, so I was a bit distracted. It's stuff I needed to sort out something towards this end. So what I just told myself is I will go back since you're posting it to what that last part.
Okay.
Where you went to, yes, I did.
Where I went to where?
When you went to create the batch setting at the point
and
where
then we input the RSI.
Yes, I missed that part. Okay,
we just went to advanced setting, and then in front of it you have a small arrow. Normally you will have trigger price there because ordinarily that's where we put the trigger price if you want to set advanced settings with triggers. And you will see your RSI there. You just choose RSI instead of trigger price. And then I said you put the RSI line at 6 because it's faster. And what 6 line of RSI means is that we are looking at the scope of the 6 candles. You can also have it as 12. You can have it at 24. When it's 12, that is just like middle setting. But when it's 24, that's very conservative. But when it is 6, it is obviously fast, you know? So we choose 6 because we want it to be fast, and then we save the RSI settings. That's all. All right. Thank you all for coming. Maybe another time we'll look again at another thing that can help the group. You can also bring up topics so that we kind of look at them together. maybe we can agree to also do prospects meeting where we talk to the prospects and we can yield them in, if we all agree. Because what I don't want is people wasting my time. We call a Zoom. Like yesterday now, you see Dr. Money was even complaining about that as well. Somebody left an important thing to talk to us. We had less than 100 people on the call. So this is why I just decided that I will talk to the few numbers of us that will be willing to take the knowledge back to others, so that we are not thinking that everybody would be here. Okay, so in the absence of every other thing or any other question, let's call it a day. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Appreciate.